Dan.
So, sorry about the technical difficulties, everyone at home. We simply, this covers the sun for me.
Whoa.
Yeah, we simply couldn't get the memory stick to work. Jamie, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm okay. I was like, today was a rough day for me. What day is it today?
Today is Friday, July 31st, 2026.
Yeah. Today is actually, little known fact, my 16-year wedding anniversary.
Yes.
You know, I'm an emotional guy. I'm upset about it. Not because, I just don't think that my wife and I had the same sentiment towards each other, and I feel like an idiot. And last year, I thought we were going to have a nesting arrangement because the day before we had agreed to it in principle, and I was very excited, and I thought it was about the storm. And I came by the house and I saw that the garbage wasn't thrown out at like 2 o'clock, and I didn't come onto the property. I just took the garbage to throw it out. I then, a few hours later, was arrested and charged with theft. It turns out that it's not illegal to steal garbage. It's actually one of those things that's been taken to the Supreme Court. As a matter of fact, law enforcement use routinely people's trash to go through things in order to charge people, but that's not at all what I was doing. I was trying to do a good deed, but Keith Abramson, who is my next door neighbor, voluntarily gave a video of me picking up the garbage to Mallory, and she claimed that Jamie was in the car, and she wasn't in the car. Were you in the car?
I had no idea.
And I think that it's total bullshit.
Yeah, I wasn't anywhere near there.
And I think that I spent 7 days in county jail.
Yeah, it was really scary.
There are people that do serious crime that spend less time.
I know.
And then the charges were all dropped because it wasn't a crime.
Yep. All charges dropped.
And
all charges dropped.
Ultimately, the saddest part of this whole thing, all charges dropped.
I know, I just feel
I don't
like
get
it
my
needs
time
to be
back.
said all the time. I know, you don't get your time back.
I've had all the
No one
charges
cares.
dropped
No
from
one's
everything.
done anything. Even after everything. No one said, okay, hey, let's take a pause.
I still haven't gotten any of my
reevaluate
property
this
back.
Stuff. Whoa.
Well, I think that's, there's people walking around, I don't want to disturb them with this content. It's hard for people to understand the amount of pain that I'm going through. Jamie and I haven't seen our kids in almost a year. I mean, I haven't seen them in over a year. And I think that I've seen them a few minutes here and there.
Yeah.
I think that this is complete bullshit, and I think that me getting upset about my anniversary is so in the past. At this point, I recognize that my wife would be very comfortable if I died, and I think it's really, really crazy for people to not recognize that this woman has used me, manipulated me, and controlled me in the most meanest way possible while I was trying to do the right thing and be a good husband. And I'm not saying that I was a perfect person, but think about it like this. Let's say that I was on drugs. Think about how insane it is to take a man who you've known for a quarter of a century. This fall will be exactly 25 years since I met Mallory, and I've known her whole family for just as long. And imagine if I did have a drug problem. Rather than showing me love and compassion and trying to get me help, they used it as an excuse to kick me out of the house and pretty much kill me.
Yeah.
Take all of my property.
Yeah.
Mallory would submit the craziest fucking declarations to the court, and the things that she said in front of my eyes, I never thought in a million years even my worst enemies would say. But she had no problems doing this, and I don't even know what the motivation is. You want to try to take all my stuff? Go ahead, file your crazy motions, because I've given it so much time, and now I have to file a federal lawsuit on my anniversary.
Yeah. Oh.
And I'll be working all weekend, and I work 7 days a week. Jamie works 7 days a week. And the laughability of saying that all we do is film YouTube videos, that's disgusting.
It is.
It's disgusting.
It is.
And I'll tell you something else.
It's just such an excuse. It's such an excuse. It's so beyond
Well, I'm going
At
to tell
this
you.
point,
I'm going to
I'm
tell you
just
right
like-
now. I quit is the name of the title of the
Yes,
video
yes.
because I'm quitting my iPhone. I realize that this is my biggest addiction. I am so
So true.
hypnotized and addicted
Yeah.
to the iPhone
You
that
are.
first
me
step
too,
is
but-
here you go. I'm going to give it to you. If you need to reach me, you could reach me on iMessage or FaceTime. I do not have a phone anymore. I don't want a phone. I've lost years of my life staring at the phone. I think that I could have been a much better father had it not been the phone. I could have been a better husband and not argued with Mallory as much if it wasn't for the phone. I mean, granted, I take responsibility. I'm not a perfect person, but at the same time, I wasn't even given one chance, let alone a second chance. A person who is the father of your children, who, let's say I am going through depression, or I was never a drug addict, but let's say I was. It's sad how horribly I was treated and how right I was in my perspective. Because look, if this is the way people treated me during a time when I was down, then while I was up, they were faking it the whole time, just waiting for their moment to either do this or simply the relationship was fully challenged and it failed so miserably and so bad.
You're so right. Like,
Of course,
it's so true.
I just would rather it
if
come out
everyone,
now.
Like everyone.
Why would I want to
believes
spend the rest of my
something,
life? Why would I want to spend the rest of my life from a woman who kidnaps my children, hits me, and then pretends like I was the harasser, and then shifts it onto you? That is completely psychotic. She should move on with her life. I'm never, ever, ever gonna trust her, have any normal communications. Like I could talk to her, but I would never divulge anything, be normal. I wouldn't show any emotion. I'd be like, hi. It's sad. It's sad how little respect I had in that family for doing nothing but taking care of this girl. All these people did, like my father-in-law, Mitchell Blask, my brother-in-law, Jordan Blask, these people have accomplished virtually zero in their entire lives without their daddy's money. I've done so much with so little, and they were so mean to me.
Yeah.
It's so gross. I have the craziest video of my father-in-law walking into my bedroom, verbally abusing me, hitting me. They're fucking crazy. Crazy. I'm surprised I made it out alive. So, on that note, I want to shift.
Happy anniversary, right? Yeah.
Well, I'm going to get myself tonight a cupcake at the end of my dinner, and I'm just going to celebrate it because I worked really hard on my marriage. I don't care if it failed. It wasn't all on me. I worked really hard on my marriage. I love my boys. I carried them, not like in my stomach, but like once they were born, everywhere. I did everything with them. And I'm going to prevail. I might be sad right now, but I'm a good guy.
You are.
I don't care how fucking shitty the world treats me. All it shows is that I was right to exit these relationships because look at the way I'm being treated. That's the true color and the true nature. Same as Jamie. Look at how good Jamie's been to me during such a difficult time. And look at how difficult the world. Look at there was a woman walking by me. It's so embarrassing. But that's the truth. If this video is going public, what's the difference? If this really nice lady, look, I'll tell you what the difference is. The difference is in this format, I just get to be myself without a reaction.
Yeah.
So on a more lighter note, so this jumper right here, Jamie actually, believe it or not, the reason why she's wearing it, she started a company. I can't really get into it yet because I really wanted to publish it on Sunday night. And if anyone's wondering, I own a company called Microbank. Microbank has a bunch of small projects. I'm going to be working on Cash Cow and Pro Slay. The reason why is because I've been waiting to launch Pro Slay formally. I did a beta launch. It was okay. But if you notice, Harvey, I think I secured $2 billion. So Casper is for people what Harvey is for large law firms. Just look it up.
Totally.
I own the rights to the Pro Slay, and that's what's called Pro Slay. Pretty good name. And there's a couple of small concepts, but my focus is on Cash Cow to generate cash for me and my family, and I would gladly take care of everything if given a chance to do my job, which I'm amazing at. I am an amazing liquidator. I have plenty of inventory in my house to be able to cover all the expenses and all the bills and show everyone at home exactly how it's done. I don't need to show my home, but I do want to show everyone that the resilience and intelligence and hard work, dedication will pay off.
Yes.
Just don't give up.
True.
And
believe.
Yeah, I believe. You got to believe in order
Gotta
for it to
believe.
happen.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit hot.
It is. My face is like, woo.
Let's go. Jamie, let's get high.
Oh, hey.
Are we high now?
We are. Well, I think they're high.
They're high. You guys are high. You guys are high.
Totally.
You guys are high.
Totally.
Like,
Totally.
clearly you're high.
Obviously.
You're on something. Look at you. You're high.
Look at you.
Look at how high you are.
Looking down at us.
Yeah, look at us.
Look at you.
We're like
Right?
little, and you guys are high.
Idiot.
I am an idiot. So on that note, happy anniversary to me.
Happy
16
anniversary
years,
to you.
sweet 16.
Sweet 16.
Happy anniversary to my wife, Mallory. And boys, I love you so much. I wish I could just give you a hug. We'll figure everything out later. So, apparently, no, sorry about all the sadness, guys, before. Please understand that. Oh, by the way, I followed through with it. I got myself a little chocolate cake, a mini one, but it's probably around 5,000 calories. And I've been doing so well. I got this cool bento box where I'm able to, if I get takeout food, I put it proportionally in this bento box. And I'm just like a big little kid, I guess, in that type of way. And today's my anniversary, 16 years. Somehow I'm still married. I'm not really sure how that works. I'm more than happy to get divorced. I just want to settle my estate and have equitable distribution with my ex-wife or wife. But I don't know. This is one of those stories where in the beginning of it, I tried to Google and find some similarities of some other cases, and I couldn't find it. But here I am, alone, but happy. And the reason I say that is because even the bento box story or a cake like this or something like that, it's not something that my wife was like cool with. Everything was a problem. And I think that there's always someone for everyone out there. And I don't know how she's planning on moving on with her life if she's completely stuck on me. And I'll be the first one on this YouTube channel to say, hey, I got divorced. I'm a single man, I guess. And I'm not ready to mingle. I have no interest in any relationships probably for the rest of my life because I've really been traumatized. And I think that one of the things that I thought about, I'm buying filler words. This channel is potentially viewed by billions of people. Yet, the content that I deliver as a man who is going through unbelievable pain, maybe a couple of thousand people in this country could ever relate to. Yet I choose to film about this. I don't take a penny for it. Recent reports show Joe Rogan made $82 million. That's amazing. You really believe that a human being that makes $82 million a year has the ability to speak his mind? The answer is no. Unless you don't take $1 for what you do, almost everything you do is tainted. Unlike this delicious milk here, which I'm going to use to wash down this cake. But the cake is nothing more than just a metaphor for a movie that I absolutely love called The Game, where Michael Douglas on his 50th birthday, he gets Elsa, his housekeeper, she gets him a hamburger. That's, he's a rich, single, white guy. My nightmare. But he also gets a really awesome cupcake at the end of the meal. And that's kind of what I was going for over here. And I just think that people constantly show the highlights of their life, and they don't show the moments like this where they're extremely sad. And I know a lot of you might not believe this, or some of you might think that I'm some sort of a villainous monster, but every anniversary, every chance I got, I gave my wife flowers, jewelry, I showered her with gifts and love our entire relationship until I started having financial issues, and she started becoming worse and worse towards me. And I realized that when I was bedridden with these cancer surgeries, she turned viral towards me, visceral, whatever. And as I started having money issues, the true Mallory really came out. So why would I want to get old with a person who is horrible to me at the onset of any of my problems? I spent my entire day working today. I was very productive, and when my projects are complete or I'm ready to go to market, you guys will be the first ones to know about them. But in order to live in a multi-million-dollar house you don't pay a penny for and live on the coattails of all of your husband's work, it truly takes a very certain individual to just erase 25 years of knowing someone and all the happy memories and the good times. And I promise you, I'm not the crazy one. A person who's able to just one day turn around and say, I don't love you, I want you in jail, I want all your stuff, I want our children 100% to myself, and the government allows this, that's the crazy person. The guy that's on YouTube about to dig into a cake by himself, drinking some delicious 2% milk, that's a realistic, loving dad that is so exhausted. Look, last year I spent 7 days in jail, including today, all the way up until the 7th of August. I think that very few individuals that are watching this can even comprehend how much pain my wife has put me through and what an effect it will have on my two boys once they get older. They will never be able to trust a person. They will never be able to understand the consequences of someone's actions because their mother is pretty much doing some horribly illegal things. But if I address them directly, I am the one that looks like the bad guy. It is a set of circumstances that many partners create with illegal testimony to the courts. I have exhausted all of my efforts to try to say, look, I recognize that in the beginning you might have thought that there was something wrong with me or something that was weird. Please, it's been a year. I was 100% right when I started screaming, hey, my wife kidnapped my kids and she's orchestrating a conspiracy plot to take all my properties and all my children. And a lot of the audience here thought that I was completely crazy, and it's been a year and I was 100% right, like I am about absolutely everything. So on that note, I am not going to try it yet. And the reason why I say that is because when you have something this beautiful, plus a cherished memory of the past. And one of the things that I'm really grateful for is that I will never be creating any more new memories with Mel. One of the most painful things I've ever experienced was sitting in jail thinking about the fact that not only did she lie, but she did it to take my property, take my children, and she did it without any remorse or at all any consideration for the fact that I can go to jail for years. It was one of the most cold, most calculated, disgusting things that I would love for her to be in a relationship with someone and move on, because I don't believe that anyone understands exactly what I and Jamie have gone through. And I put Jamie in there because, look, I don't know who's following this story or not, but this poor girl didn't do shit. Okay? She didn't do anything. Mal was horrible to her. She abused the shit out of her. And when Jamie like raised her hand to say something, Mallory just destroyed her ability to make a living, her reputation. It's all made up. Jamie's an amazing fucking mom. And look, this whole thing is just so fucked up because you got a couple of young parents that are reached out to a system who they thought was designed to truly look for the facts and the truth, and that wasn't the case at all. It was a very corrupt system. It is especially in the Essex vicinage, Judge Cacciola, Matos, Wilson, it's insanity. I was found guilty of harassment for doing nothing more than reporting my wife for beating the shit out of me. Now I have to go through the courts to get my children, and the fact that she was guilty of criminal mischief and nothing was done, that just shows how unfair the system is towards me. I don't even know if it's a man and woman issue anymore, because truthfully, the fact that all of you are watching this and you see that Judge Esther Salas, a federal judge, is involved in clearly bullshit and a conspiracy, and you're all just not comprehending that Bob Menendez was actually raided on June 22nd, 2022. It took 15 and a half months for everyone to clean their shit up that was associated with him until charges were dropped. And they weren't going to be dropped until I went into Fred Davies' house and got him to issue an illegal loan, and then another court order was issued that publicly outed the process. There's a very good chance it would have been suppressed and everything would have just disappeared because of the power and clout that Bob Menendez has if it wasn't for the efforts that I put into the entire project. Because of what I have done, I had my children taken from me. Jamie has had her children taken from them from her. And all of you are watching this as if it's entertainment, because you don't understand that my goal is not just to raise awareness, but to have a system turn upside down, because it is not okay for what's going on. I don't know how many times I have to say it's not okay. I don't know what's wrong with you people. I am fully sober-minded, body, everything you can imagine, and I'm looking at it from the outside, and I think to myself, holy shit, I've never even heard of anything like this. In the news, the stories are fucking fairy tales or children's rhymes compared to this Dostoevsky-style narrative novel. Like, you've got one of the most entertaining, salacious narratives in the fucking world being suppressed by every media outlet to allow me to calmly express to everyone what the fuck is going on. On what planet do two healthy, able-bodied adults like myself and Jamie Resnick lose the ability to be around our children because our exes, who are very jealous, also known as jelly, invented a bunch of stories in order to hurt us? Well, it does hurt because it is a lie. If it was true, I don't think it would hurt that much. I believe that myself and Ms. Resnick would just address the issues. But that's not the case. We can't address something that doesn't exist. If Jamie doesn't even drink, I don't drink, we don't do any drugs. We can't not do drugs more if we don't do drugs or drink. Or for the fact that we are being accused of some phantom mental illnesses that we've never had. We show no signs of any of this. And we have our children taken away and requiring us to go through some rigorous mental health evaluation process while our spouses drink on a nightly basis and dance around because they have us pretty much suffering. And to me, human beings who are interested in making other people suffer have no business in caring for children, let alone being functioning members of our society. Please, you must understand that these children will grow up very quickly. And they will have their own voice, their own rights. And should something happen to these children's mental health or things like that, Miss Resnick and I are not even remotely close to be blamed. The blame squarely falls on the shoulders of Jared and Mallory. And I don't think that people understand that Jamie and I don't want this. We don't even give a shit enough to hurt anyone because we're happy people. And when people achieve an actual state of happiness, they don't spend their time trying to hurt other people. And that's where the disconnect is. And that's where I, myself personally, and I'll speak for Jamie, that we do not agree with our society's inability to do anything. The fact that we are literally isolated from our children's lives based on nothing more than a series of lies that we've disproven many times over. And a great example of that is that Mallory committed crimes against Jamie and I. But in court, Judge Joshua Levine in Caldwell invented a series of circumstances and is trying me and Jamie on phantom crimes and has completely ignored his responsibility to review the facts of the case and issue an investigative order. And these types of things are the norm. It is completely normal for the Essex County Prosecutor's Office to routinely levy charges against me, lose in court every single time, and do nothing about it. No apology. My stuff is not returned to me. Nobody even responds to a single email or motion. And if you're watching this anywhere in the country, if you think this is remotely normal, there's something wrong with you. There's nothing normal about this. The craziest part of this whole thing is that we're not in some podunk town with 400 people. We're in the county of Essex, in one of the wealthiest towns in the country, Livingston, New Jersey. And all this is being done in front of everyone with blatant disregard for any consequences whatsoever, because the system is completely rigged and purchased. Everything from a federal judge to a local lowly cop. Ladies and gentlemen, what you're watching is 100% real. Everything I say is 100% true. I have not twisted it, contorted, like any change in the facts. I have not done a single thing outside of speaking the truth calmly, assertively, directly into the camera. That is my First Amendment right. I am one of the best in the world at doing this. and I refuse to take any responsibility for the brilliance that is the U.S. Constitution, which allows me, under the full color of everything that is true and honest about the United States, I speak the truth, and I have been incarcerated for 31 days, arrested almost over a dozen times in order to silence me, to not talk about Judge Esther Salas and what she has done in order to suppress the truth about what happened with her son's murder. Bob Menendez is not only guilty of that crime, he also voted 467 times in the Senate on very important matters, from the point of his house being raided and all the gold and cash being found to the indictment being announced. That means that the FBI was so incompetent that they took 15 months to put everything together, where all it was a raid, and they already had everything together. Yet the brazency was so crazy that 467 times he cast his vote as the senior senator in the Foreign Relations Committee. If you think that is a normal set of circumstances, then you literally know nothing about the government. You are completely incompetent, and you should continue watching reality shows, because as a functioning member of society, we cannot have the intelligentsia, the college graduates, the powerful people of our society completely ignore the reality that they are the ones that created Bob Menendez. They are the ones that are okay with Judge Esther Salas getting away with it, and they are the ones that are totally cool with my wife and Jared Resnick alienating, kidnapping, and doing far worse to 5 minors. My name is Daniel M. Reeses. And I wanted to wish myself a happy anniversary, because I worked my ass off on my children, my relationship, my life. Nobody handed me shit. And in the next few days, you're going to see that I make a lot of big promises. But at this time, it really is go time. And I will tell you that if I fail in the next 60 days, I will give it up. I'll try to get a job, and will do whatever it takes in order to make my children happy, supported, and taken care of. But not until I'm able to see them. I will not use my children as ransom, will allow my children to be used as financial ransom, like Matthew Samoro, Jamie Solano, Hoxley Solano, Ricardo Solano's wife, and my wife, Mallory, ex-wife, are trying to do. Boys, if you're watching this and you are being bullied by your spouses, don't ever take it. Don't ever take it. And I, as your father, simply cannot negotiate with terrorists when their demands are not even clear. Guys, nobody even has a fucking clue what your mother wants. No one has a clue. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. By the way, you're not allowed to watch this until you're 18. I hope you know that. But nobody knows what is going on. There is no endgame strategy. There is no reality. And I'm sorry that people are disturbed by my ability to orate myself continuously without a break. If you don't have the ability to do what I do, I recognize that you are jealous of what I do. That doesn't mean that what I say is wrong, inaccurate, or a lie. It just means that your visceral reaction to how smoothly the words come out of my mouth during a time of crisis, which is my name with a C, by the way, but it is very difficult for people to do what I'm doing when everything's amazing and they have everything fluid, clear runway. I do everything on one take, no cards, no rehearsals, no cue cards, nothing else. The reason for that is because the product has to be organic. It has to come from my subconsciousness. It has to come from the core of my heart. It has to come from the brilliance that is the truth in a world of lies. Why do I continue to film this content? Because I will look back at it and wish I did more. Because when a man is going through what I'm going through, believe it or not, some of my best work is coming out right now, because I am in massive amount of pain, and that is the core of my creativity. And I know that it sucks, and I know you might think I'm lying, and I appreciate it very much. But if you give me a chance until just Sunday night, I will show you my first project that will go live in order to thank my boy Jamie, who has done a lot for me and a lot for you that is watching this, and eventually you'll figure it out. But right now, I want everyone to take a breath, wish my ex-wife a happy. No. Like, who knows how this is going to be misconstrued. I don't want anyone to contact Mallory ever, and I don't even want her to watch this. But I do want her to know that happy anniversary, and I want my boys to know that I really love them, and I will do anything for them. And this isn't meatloaf. I will do that, whatever that is. Especially for my boys. I don't even know what I'm supposed to say, because a part of me is really motivated, another part of me is broken, and I'm not really sure which one of them you guys want to see, but it's all one human being. I'm just one person. I'm not a schizophrenic, I'm not bipolar, I don't have multiple personality disorder. I think that perhaps just being a normal, healthy, energetic, ADD-riddled adult is just not enough for most people, and I find that you're constantly trying to put me in some sort of a box where you invent my mental state as if you know what's going on. Look, I'm really, really sad. I'm really sad. It's the middle of the summer. I love my boys more than anything. It's been a year. People will go to jail and see their kids more. It's wrong. It's twisted. But it's not something that I'm going to accept, and it's definitely not going to block my work and my creativity on a daily basis. It will suppress it. The work that I'm doing is definitely not the best work that it will be if I'm able to get my kids back. It's just the best creative-wise. The actual production and work-wise, it's very difficult to do when you're under this much stress. I hope none of you go through this, and I hope that everyone enjoys their Friday night, because I worked my ass off all day. I finished the content, and now hopefully, look, I'm not going to be sitting in the shower crying, thinking about like playing Duran Duran or Mannequin and eating this chocolate cake. My name is Dan Reeses. I've never been dumped ever in my life. I found myself in a very, very weird predicament. I made a choice. I'm a big boy. I got to stick with it. But that doesn't mean I'm going to tolerate idiot judges and illegal lawyers just doing their worst. If you're ever watching this and you feel like giving up, always remember, sometimes, even in the worst of times, you can have your cake and eat it too.